Hello everyone, welcome to Snap or Pass. My name's MJ, and today we're looking at a new card in a new game mode. This is Agony. She's a 1/2. After you play a card here, merge this with it. Now, usually in Snap or Pass, we look at the spotlight week that the card is in. In fact, we have this chapters figure. We skipped to your section. We still got most of those sections. It's just going to be a little bit different because this is available in a new game mode, of which we don't know masses about it yet. But our conversation is going to be slightly different. So this new game mode is running from October the 16th to the 24th. So it's a limited time game mode. And basically, there's 3 rounds in the game. So it's an even quicker version of Marvel Snap than normal Marvel Snap. And each round, you get a random amount of energy from 2 to 5. And then the next turn, you get that energy plus another random 2 to 5. So basically the maximum energy by turn 3 is going to be like 15, minimum is going to be 6. So it's going to completely change deck building, and it's going to be really interesting and really awesome and really cool. I'm really excited for it. And this game mode has got its own special reward track. So what we don't know is how easy or how difficult it is going to be to get Agony. Agony is the penultimate reward in there, and then the top reward is this cool Iron Man variant. However, if you don't want to interact with the game mode, you don't enjoy it, or you don't want to grind to get Agony, she is going to be available in the token shop from October the 31st. Happy Halloween! That was weird. And she's a Series 4 card, so she's only going to be 3,000 tokens. So she's going to be easy to obtain. She's either going to be completely free to obtain, with a little bit of grinding maybe, we don't know how easy that's going to be, or you can buy her for cheap. So that's pretty cool. And we don't know if she's got a variant yet. So let's move on to the mechanics of the card. The key archetypes that I think are going to work well and synergize well with Agony include Move, Destroy, Silky Smooth, a very specific style of almost move / mid-range deck, Buffs, and Atlantis. Now this Atlantis call out is something that I'm trying to get off the ground. Basically wasn't sure what to call it. It's the Namora deck. Now theoretically Namora should work with Namor, the other Atlantean cards like Orca and what's the other chap? Atuma. Now those don't probably make it into the deck, but they are broadly the same I want to be alone at a location style of card, so I've called it Atlantis, and we'll get onto the deck ideas shortly. Anyway, let's talk about the specific mechanics with Agony. She merges with the card after it's resolved. For example, she would only merge with Brood and not the Broodlings. What that means is, as the example I've given, if you play Brood on top of her, it's not that the Brood will become a 4-power card and then spit out 2 4-power Broodlings. It's that the Brood will be played as a 2-power card, spit out 2 2-power Broodlings, so that card is resolved, and then the Brood merges with Agony and creates the 4-power card. It's similarly important to point this out for cards like Black Panther. Black Panther isn't going to become a 7-power card and then double to 14. It's going to play out, double the power to 10, and then add the 2, so become 12. So it's just important for those little types of things. It merges, or I should say rather she merges and disappears like Hulkbuster, not like Symbiote Spider-Man, so she's not re-triggering the card. And she's the cheapest way to buff a card, alongside Aranya and Nico Minoru. Nico Minoru, of course, it's only like 1 in 6 spells, so it's not the most reliable. And Aranya, you can't play her at the end of the game, like you can't play her on turn 6, and you do need that additional turn to activate her. So Agony is generally a little bit of an easier and more consistent way to buff one specific card. Her pros. She creates some really nice curves into scaling cards like Human Torch and Deadpool. So you play Agony on one, you can then play, in Human Torch's case, Human Torch on top of her, he becomes a 4, and then you can play Ghost Spider immediately doubling to 8, so that's really nice. Deadpool, similarly, there's no way to destroy it with a 1-power card on turn 2, but you can maybe, as a turn 2 play Agony and Deadpool, and then on turn 3 you Venom it, or you lock it, whatever you want to do. It's cool. It's an automatic effect, so will generally feel good to play into and can be done on the same turn, including the final turn. So this is important. You may have a final turn which is Agony into Sebastian Shaw. Shaw gets a +2 from Agony, and then the additional +2 from being buffed. So that's cool. She is plug and playable. It's a broadly useful ability that is going to fit into pretty much most decks unless they're trying to do a specific thing. And she's reasonably good against Clog, which as I type / as I read this is quite widely played. Her cons. She's I've started talking another language. This is the another language song. That was weird. Why do I... It's just weird. Do not write the lyrics of that in the comments, whatever you do. I'd find it cringe embarrassing and wouldn't pin it. If that's what you thought I'd do. She's weak to Killmonger, so you may want to play a card on top of her ASAP. She's a smidge boring. We've seen similar abilities before. She's sort of a reverse Hulkbuster. So is that exciting? Not really. Maybe that's why she's in high voltage. Now, the crucial thing. Does boring mean bad? I don't think it does. Wait until the star ratings section. You won't always want to merge a card, or may need to change plans. So this is, it's just going to make things a little bit difficult on occasion. Sometimes when we look at the locations, actually, there's kind of some bad matchups for location-wise. So something like the Raft, okay? If you've got Agony in your hand, terrible card to go into the Raft on turn one. So yeah, that's going to feel weak. And there's lots of locations like that, which we'll get onto next. And it could push cards up into Shang-Chi range, which again, sometimes it's going to be unavoidable. So yeah, there's a few difficulties with her for sure. Moving on to those locations. Like I say, there is actually plenty of bad locations, but there are plenty of good ones too. Some of the good ones include Shuri's Lab. So playing into Shuri's Lab, Agony is going to become a 4-power card. And then the thing that you play on top of her is going to merge with that, so that card will get the +4, and it will double again. So she's essentially giving that card a +8. So on Shuri's Lab, she's basically +8. She's like, she's crazy on Shuri's Lab. That's really cool. Sinister London, another absolutely fantastic location for her. You play her into it, then you can play an additional card, and that additional card is going to double blah. And then not only that, but the unique thing with doing that, and Hulkbuster, we've seen Hulkbuster do that, so that's not too interesting. But the unique thing with Agony is that she's then not going to take up an additional space later, because the next time you play a card on wherever the copy of Agony was, they're then going to merge with it, so it's not taking up as much space. So that's cool. Savage Land, bloody annoying Clog location where you get 2 Raptors. You can play Agony in, so you're getting the extra power, but then you can play something else in, and it's taking up less space. So that's cool. Jotunheim might be a sleeper one because, again, it's merging down, so it's creating less affliction to you. Atlantis is cool. You can play her into there, get the +5, and then the next thing you play is still going to benefit from the +5. Cloning Vats is going to be really cool because you can play Agony on top of Agony, and by turn 3 you could have like a 6-power duplicating card, which again, it's just going to keep growing. Just keep growing, and that's really cool. And Clubhouse, fill this location to give your cards other locations -1 power. Actually, should that have been in bad? I can't even remember where I meant to stick that. I think I probably meant to put that in bad. That might be a mistake on the graphic. I do apologise. Anyway, bad locations. Danger Room. Oh man, Danger Room's going to feel horrific. Because you gamble and play Agony in. Oh, okay, you win. You win the 1 in 4 and she is well, yeah, you win the 3 out of 4, I suppose, and she isn't destroyed. However, the next thing you play is going to re-roll the dice, so you don't want that. Gamma Lab is bad. You're trying to rush to get cards in there to turn into Hulk. You can't really play her on there on turn 1 or 2. She has to be the last thing that you play there, so it feels kind of bad. Nidavellir, similarly, you want to get more cards in there, not less, and Space Throne literally will block off your location, so you can't get that additional card into it. Now, let's talk about her counters. Elektra. This is the first time we featured an Elektra as a counter card. I do wonder if Elektra is going to just grow in popularity as we see so many strong 1-cost cards, or cards that synergize with 1-cost cards. Around the time that I'm filming this, it's Misery Week, so we're seeing... Oh, misery, love me. So we're seeing a lot of people play low-cost cards or 1-cost cards that they want to then re-trigger with Misery. Could Elektra snipe some of these cards? Could Elektra snipe Agony? it's interesting to ponder on. Shadow King is going to reduce the buff that Agony grants, and Killmonger can obviously outright kill her as well. I've also put, just in general, the Clog archetype is not going to be friendly towards Agony. So let's talk about some actual key synergies and decks. We've already spoken about Deadpool and Human Torch. Basically, anything that doubles in power is going to be good. That's going to be relevant, of course, for Human Torch and Deadpool. Jeff is going to be really nice with Agony, actually. You're going to have this movable 5-power card. Jeff already is just generally a decent card and great utility and great unpredictability, so boosting that power is good. Hey, how about Captain Marvel? That's going to be a really interesting one. Having this movable 7 power makes it a lot more interesting and useful. You know, we saw how powerful she was as a 6-power card. It had to be nerfed. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Actually, I say we saw how powerful she was. Technically, she had to be brought down in cost to make her viable, but she's still a good card, and it's, you know, any kind of power adjustment on Captain Marvel is strong. Wow, Scarlet Spider came out. Generally didn't set the world alight, to be honest, guys. Is this going to be Scarlet Spider's opportunity? We can bloody well hope so. And Namora, we've got an entire Namora deck to talk about, so we will of course talk about that. But Namora obviously benefits from having cards where there's only one, and Agony plays into that. So, deck ideas. I've got this first one, Inder Club Guild Stars. This is not only a silky smooth deck, but of course an Inder Club deck. We call it Inder Club because Inder Club you mingle rhymes with Pringle, and Pringles come in a stack, and that's what you want to do with this deck, is play cards in a stack. Cards like Angela, cards like Hope. We often have Elsa Bloodstone in this style of deck, but I haven't got Elsa this time. Basically, guys, this deck idea with this is, yeah, a little bit of flavour of Inder Club, but actually we're basically playing towards a final turn or end game of Gilgamesh, because every card in here can either buff or be buffed, kind of. We got Nightcrawler, who can't, but I needed some synergy that worked into the Angela and Hope playstyle. But we've got cards that actually buff. Silver Sable, going to buff herself. Agony, going to buff someone else. Hawkeye, potentially going to give you a few cards that buff either the Pym arrow or the basic arrow. Angela buffs herself. Thena buffs herself. Sage buffs herself. Speed buffs himself. And so you've got all these cards here that can give extra power and expel extra power. And so you play Gilgamesh as like a 15 power card towards the end of the game. And it could be really surprising, because this is one where they're not really going to expect the Gilgamesh. So this could be cool, could be interesting. And you've also got, aside from the Gilgamesh, you've just got these low cost cards that can reach really high power, like Thena, like Angela, like Sage, like Speed. So it could be an interesting one. The next deck I've called Buffy. I think this is such a cool idea. Basically, multiple cards that buff cards. So, of course, Agony. We've got Aranya, we've got Forge, we've got Phastos and Gwenpool. And then like a handful of cards that benefit from being buffed. So we've got Brood, we've got Shaw. This isn't a Surfer deck, but we have got those few. We've also got, because we've got some movement synergy in here, we've got Madam Web, and we've got Dagger and Human Torch. You're probably going to draw one of them, you know, one of them alongside Madam Web. So why not have this chuffed up Human Torch that you're able to ping about with Madam Web and Aranya? It's cool and interesting, because that can give you, with quite low investment, really quite a sizable power. And then your late game could be Scarlet Spider, who's been buffed by maybe Phastos, maybe Gwenpool. Play that on 5, and then you get this duplicating really big power. And then on the final turn of the game, you just do like an Iron Man to secure the other location. I think this is a really cool, really interesting deck with a little mixture of buff style stuff. I'm really eager to get Sebastian Shaw some more loving outside of Silver Surfer. And of course, he's in the Spotlight Cash. I was about to say he's in the Spotlight Cash the same week as Agony. Grow up. He's just recently been in the Spotlight Cash alongside Scorn. And then my Atlantis deck. So this is basically, by the way, I have never played Namora because I literally got her like yesterday. So the Namora style of deck is where you want to have basically 2 pillars, or you've got one where you've got Jeff or Nightcrawler or something movable. But basically you've got 2 locations where you've got 1 card. Now, I think the most interesting element of that is Cosmo and Colossus, because it means they can't be destroyed. And then you've got like a Wongo combo in the middle or wherever, where you do Wong and Nomura, and then you can Odin on the final turn. The few little flares that I've got here is Agony, of course, just means that you can get an extra couple of power into one of your lone wolf locations. And I've got Claw in here as well to give some surprise power where they may not expect it. We've also got Sage and Ironheart as sort of ones that you could play in the center location. Like, they may be expecting the Nomura play, and so they avoid the outside lines or whatever. And then you go heavy with the Sage in the middle, and that's how you win the middle, and so it's a bit of a surprising one. So yeah, multiple ways to win, and pretty cool. My star ratings. Overall, I actually think she's a 3.5 card. I actually think she's not exciting, but I actually think she's good. For the archetype, 3.5. I think generally she's going to fit really nicely into lots of different archetypes, just not going to be absolutely crazy. She's already doing a similar thing to other cards, but maybe she just improves it slightly by making it a bit more efficient. Fun, I'm not sure she's the most fun. I think she's a 3-star card. Sure, she's going to be alright. And actually, the competitiveness of her, this is where I think she's actually going to excel the most. I think she'll actually have a decent win rate. Sorry, devolving into lunacy again. Yeah, I actually think she'll have a good win rate. She's just going to be a good card. So is she a snap or pass? I mean, guys, she's a free card, right? If you play a little bit into this new game mode, High Voltage, don't know how much you'll have to play or how much you'll have to grind, if there will be any grind involved, but you know, you're going to be able to interact with this game mode and probably get her for free if you engage with it. So you might as well try and get her. Of course she's a snap, but even if she wasn't, I think at 3,000 tokens as a Series 4 card, she's still a great buy. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're new, please subscribe. We're on the road to 2,099 subscribers. I've got a very funny and fun video planned for that. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.